Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Tuesday, January 25th, 2022. Normally it would be a trivia Tuesday, but it's just going to be a regular live stream today, guys. I just didn't have any time to come up with trivia or a game for today. And it's been like more often than not that's been happening on Tuesdays. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, I want to make sure I welcome everyone listening on the audio only version in the podcast. Hopefully, you're having a good run and not too cold out there, even though it's pretty cold in a lot of parts of the country right now. So stay warm out there. And everyone's sitting back, folding laundry, and listening to this podcast on YouTube later after the fact. Hope you're having a good day. I'm sitting back with some afternoon coffee. Maybe you got a recovery beverage with you as well, making the time go by a little bit nicer. I definitely need the coffee today. I'm tired. Today, my daughter, I've been just basically trying to tire this girl out for the last like year and a half or so, but she's indefatigable. And this morning she's like, Dad, I'm tired. I'm like, why are you tired? She's like, we've been climbing a lot. And she's been in climbing class now. And then we went another time over the weekend. And she had climbing class again yesterday. And we're there for an extra hour. So there's like each of them have a 1 hour class. And so while the other one goes, I've been doing some extra climbing with the other one. So they've been getting more than like an hour's worth of climbing in at the time. They're tired kids now. I feel good. I feel like mission complete as a dad. All right. How's everyone doing here? We got Emma in the chat. She says, what's going on? Happy Tuesday, co-fam. Carrie Smith says, yo, what's going on? Martha gives a wave emoji. Christian Schobinger also coming in with a wave. Love it. Vincent Vigneer says, sup. Luis Becerra says, yo, what's going on? With another hi, everybody. And Angel Johnson says, hi, everyone. Jeff Elliott made it. And JC says, hey there. What's going on, everybody? All right. Let me, Christian's coming in on the treadmill today. See, there we go. See, I feel like that'd be a good way to do it too. Yeah, I think that would be a nice way to be able to listen in on the podcast. I just think that like, I'm still like, there's got to be a way we can make this happen, right? I'm not the one to make it happen. I don't know how to make this happen, but I just feel like there should be like a running radio channel, like an XM station. I don't know if there. I mean, I feel like not to say that like I'm as big as Dave Matthews Band, but like there's like a Dave Matthews Band station. There's like a Pearl Jam station. I think there's like a Sinatra station, and all it does 24 hours a day is play the music from one artist, right? So I feel like, sorry, the dog made a weird noise. I thought maybe he was vomiting. He's okay. But I was like, maybe there's a way that we can have like running content like this all day. I mean, it doesn't all have to be like topical like this, but I mean, some of it could be more serious. Some of it could be like kind of like some of those comedy XM radio stations where they just like play clips of other like comedy specials. Like if there's just clips of like running podcasts, I think that'd be great. I don't know. And you just listen in, whether you're on the treadmill, you're on a drive, just listening to XM, I think that'd be good. I'm down. All right. Lucas H says, just got a craft order. I think the Siberian gloves are overkill for California winters, but super excited for the active base later. Are those the mittens? Or is there a product called Siberian gloves? Now I'm like, oh, I got to get on the craft website. Maybe there's something new. But I've been using those same ones. My running buddy also has a pair. And he's been enjoying his too. But he doesn't get, I think, as cold as I do. I don't think he puts hand warmers in his. I put hand warmers in mine every day. Luis Becerra's got some drinking organic vanilla, or is it Orgain? Is that a brand? Orgain vanilla protein shake. Nice. Jason Dahl said, howdy, cold one out there. Yeah, Jason's in Chicago too. The reasonable side of my brain is telling me to Peloton this evening, but I'm going to get out there for some miles. I would say if you're going to pick a day, go today because tomorrow's going to be colder. So, Peloton maybe tomorrow, run today. It wasn't too bad out there today. There were moments where it was a headwind and it just like, it gets you like right in between the eyes and it just like pierces. It's just really cold. But other than that, I was like, I had some layers on and I was warm. I was wet. I was sweaty when I got home, which I was surprised because it was like 6 degrees Fahrenheit when I went out for my run. But it wasn't that windy for the most part. So that made it like bearable. All right. Adam just came back in from 32 minutes of running in the snow. Snowing is fun, at least in Colorado. All right. Well, yeah, but I mean, I think you've been getting hit with the weather pretty hard lately, right? Dr. Josh also says, "What up, CoFam? Did a midweek long run in 6 inches of snow. Wham! Smashed it. Smashed the snow, right? How you doing, Josh? Good to see you. Andrew got some cold miles, 12 cold miles in this morning in the western suburbs. How are you guys doing with the snow out there? I feel like you guys always get more snow than we do." JC says, "The half marathon Saturday started cold as expected, 21 degrees. Got a modest little PR. There you go. At just under 138. Hashtag old guys. Well done, JC. PR is a PR. It's nothing to shake a stick at. Congratulations." Awesome. Story on a Run says, "Big news in Arizona. Molly Seidel's racing the Mesa Half Marathon February 12th. Super stoked to be on the same line as her." Oh, that's cool. That's coming up soon. I wonder if she was always scheduled to run this half marathon, or if she was just like, all right, well, big weekend in Houston. Now I got to throw down. Like maybe. I would love it if that was the case. She was like, no, okay. Everyone's excited. Now hold my beer. I'm sure she had this on her plane a long time ago. By the way, guys, I ran in a balaclava today. And for you guys just listening to the audio, you can't see this, but if people watching at home or on the phone, I've got like a little line on my head still from where the balaclava was. It's like the winter version of the watch tan, I guess, right? Dad Runner AI. Dad Runner. I like to say I think that it's Dad Runner AI, but it's Dad Runner Al. Yo, everyone! I finally found the podcast. Couldn't find it since change. So sorry so much about that. I apologize. Glad that you're here. So glad to see you again. I've been posting, at least I did yesterday and today. I posted a post on YouTube about like the new where the like a link to get here. So even if you don't know how to get to this channel, like if you see the post in the community post on my channel, then on my regular channel, then you'll be able to find it. I think I'll probably just end up doing that for a lot longer. I think I have to do it for a while, but glad to have you here, Dad. Eric Paramount had earlier chilly 10K effort out on the local trail and says, "Good to see y'all." It's good to see you too, Eric. All right. So that the thing I want to talk about today is that so like I haven't done a Trivia Tuesday in a while. We did one, was it like 2 or 3 weeks ago? But I was having a lot more fun with them, like making up games and stuff. And I still have fun, like thinking about it, but I always like run out of time. And I think the big thing, like the ultimate thing I want to talk about today is that I just think that I'm overstimulated. I don't have time to like just sit and look at stuff. Like just content is just constantly flying by me, and it's just like so overwhelming. My brain is just trying to catch up. It doesn't have time to like think things through sometimes. So like, I don't know. I just think that that's why I'm like, I haven't been able to like think about a trivia topic or like a new like game that we could play, you know? And I just think that I need to step back a little bit. I'm not saying I need to take a break or anything dramatic like that. But like, I think I just need to give myself more of those like little micro moments, where I would normally right now reach for like, all right, well, maybe I'll respond to a couple more comments or see what's happening on Twitter. I just need to like be a little bit like bored for a minute here and there, just so that way my brain's like, all right, I'm bored. Let's think of something entertaining. I think that's what I need. I think that's all it is. So, but I don't know. I think that's probably a lot of people though. I think we're all like overstimulated a lot, so it's okay. It's okay to like kind of step back and be, I think it's okay to be bored. I think I've been hearing that a lot too from lots of people. All right, let's see. I think we got an update from Andrew out in the suburbs. Says we probably got 7-ish total inches. Sunday did 20 miles entirely in 4 to 5 inches. What? That must have taken like an extra hour. By today, the roads are mostly clear, but wind chill was -11 Fahrenheit. Layers. That's crazy. I was just reading an article. Apparently, I subscribed to Alex Hutchinson's newsletter. I didn't know he had a newsletter. I didn't know I subscribed to it, but I've been getting emails from Alex Hutchinson. Not like to me, but I've been getting stuff in my email inbox. And the subject today was about there's like a cold weather induced like bronchitis. Yeah, I don't know why I said it wrong. But that could happen from if you're breathing very heavy in like temperatures. What his kind of research was like below 5 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 15 Celsius. And I was like, oh, I think that's the temperature today. And it's definitely be lower than that tomorrow. And I'm like, I got a workout scheduled for tomorrow. So I think I need to read that a little bit more closely. But be careful out there. Man, I'm running 20 miles in 4 inches. That is a lot. That's just crazy. Hope you're stay warm, man. Hope you're staying warm. All right. Lucas H says the craft Siberian gloves are a real thing. It's actually a product. It's more extreme than the court mittens that you use, Co. I got those too. I might just keep those ones. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go on the craft website after the live stream today because I gotta pick those up. Something more intense than the mittens. Because I was just looking at like the Tracksmith website yesterday, and I see that they have like the glove mitten things, the things with like the mittens that you can cover over like their gloves underneath, and you can like fold them back and just have regular gloves, like those kinds of things. They have that, and I'm like, oh, that looks nice, but I'm like, that doesn't look any warmer than my craft mittens, and I'm in craft mittens season. Like February, I'll need something else warmer. But now the craft is like anything lighter than or thinner than the craft. I'm not going to use that one because my hands will be too cold. I just get cold. So yeah, I don't know. Now I gotta check that out, Lucas. Thanks for the heads up on that. Angel Johnson said, yesterday I received my Ultimate Direction Ventro jacket based on the review. What jacket did you wear? Today I wore the Ventro jacket and I was sweating in like 8 degrees Fahrenheit air temperature. I had a balaclava and a hat on, so that's probably why I was sweating. It was like a lot, but my face still felt very cold. But for my layers, I had a Tracksmith long sleeve, and then the Ventro jacket, and I was sweating. I was really hot, so yeah. Angel Snow says the Chicago 13.1 is having an inaugural date set for June 5th. Would you add to your schedule? Well, that might fit. That might fit in there. I'm not sure what I'm doing in June. I have to look at my calendar. It might fit. There's a couple of things happening in June. Grandma's is one of them. I'm signed up for it anyway. I think that's earlier. I think that would be at a good time before Grandma's. But I don't know. I usually run the Chicago half marathon before the Chicago marathon, and it's 2 weeks beforehand. And I always feel like that's a good time to race a half marathon. Last year, I did not race it as a PR attempt kind of race, and I felt like that worked. But some people are just like, I don't know, the amount of time that people seem to think where it's impermissible to have a hard workout seems to be getting longer and longer. And I'm just like, I don't know. When do you guys actually work? I'm like, I don't know. But well, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, there aren't that many inaugural races. So I do love a good inaugural race. Dad Runner says, I've been really enjoying UCAN Energy Performance Drink Chocolate. I'm trying to think if I've had that. I've had the bars. There's 2 kinds of UCAN chocolate bars. I'm not sure what the difference is between them. One is shorter and thicker. The other one is thinner and longer. It's like the size. Other than size differences, I'm not really sure what the difference is. But I don't think I've had the performance drink. I've had the gels. I've had the hydration mix. I've had the chocolate bars. I'm gonna have to try that, Dad Runner. Time Matt wants to know, do I run with contacts? Yes, I normally run with contacts. But when I can, I try to not be in contacts. All right, let's scroll down a little bit further. Jeff Elliott says, I'm getting a CT scan tomorrow for what we suspect is a hernia. Hopefully I'll get a good diagnosis and resolution soon. For the foreseeable future, I'm going to be on Zwift a lot. Well, be careful with that kind of stuff. I mean, whatever it is, I hope you get some answers soon. And hopefully it's a quick recovery, Jeff. Oof. He says, unfortunately, all low intensity, not supposed to push or strain. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that sucks, man. Hopefully it's a quick recovery. Ooh. Remy says, in terms of like everything coming at you fast, he removed Instagram from his phone and has been better for it. You know what I try to do? It's funny is I moved Twitter. I was looking at Twitter a lot during a lot of the doom scrolling times. I was looking at Twitter like constantly and just hitting refresh, 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 and then scrolling some more. And I was like, I'm looking at Twitter too much. So then I took it off my phone, and then I just was looking at it on like Safari on the browser. I was like, this is annoying because then it's like this doesn't look right and things don't come out correctly, and I can't use all the feature. I'm like, this is annoying. So then I reinstalled it, but I'm like, here's my compromised position. I buried it like 3 screens down. So I have like my main screen on my phone is like the stuff that I use all the time. And I'm pretty much only in the main screen. And there's like 6 or 7 other like screens, right? Home screens, like icons. But I buried the Twitter one further down so that I wouldn't look at it so much. It doesn't really help. All right, Mark with the Florida update. It says, happy Tuesday. Florida's pretty cold right now, Co. Ooh. Well, I mean, that's good for running, but not good for trying to escape winter feelings here in Chicago. My sister-in-law and 2 of her kids are down in Florida with grandma and grandpa. They'll be there. They're this week, and then like they leave the same day like we get there. So like we're just gonna be like crossing paths. But they went to the beach today. I don't think they went in the water, but they were at the beach today. So one thing, by the way, Mark, maybe you know. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. I actually don't know where in Florida I'm going. I mean, I know we're flying to Tampa, but other than that, I'm not sure. But my running buddy, his mom lives down in south of Tampa, somewhere on one of the like barrier islands, I guess, or whatever they are, on the Gulf. It's on, all on the Gulf side. And I went down there one time, and there, a bunch of us went down there. His mom wasn't going to be there for the weekend, and it was like February here, and we're like, all right, we're gonna go down. And she's like, you guys should go hang out. And we're like, okay, let's go hang out. So we went to his mom's like retirement house down there, and there's a beach, or there's many beaches down there where kids like will look for shark's teeth, and like you could just find them. Like you scoop up sand at the water and you sift through it, you'll find these little black triangles, and what they actually are, they don't look like it because you think shark teeth are white. But apparently what happens is they fall out of the shark's mouth, they wash on shore, and by the time between the shark's mouth and the shore, they turn black for some reason. And I told this story to my daughter like 4 years ago, maybe even longer than that. And when I said we were going to Tampa, and because grandma's rented a house down in Tampa, and we're gonna go visit them down there, she's like, "Do you think there'll be shark's teeth?" And I was like, "What? How do you even remember that?" But that's one of the things we're gonna do when we're down there is we're gonna look for shark's teeth on the beach. We're probably not gonna swim in the beach, but in the Gulf, but we are gonna look for shark's teeth. And then I was telling this story to my running buddy, and he's like, "Dude, do you need some shark's teeth?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "In case you don't find them at the beach, I'll give you some of mine. You can bring them down there, sprinkle them in the sand, and then at least I'll find some shark's teeth that day." I was like, there you go. That's a good friend right there. But I don't know, maybe Mark, maybe if the what the shark's teeth situation is in some of the beaches. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully we find some. But if we don't, I got a secret little baggie. Lester Luna says, hi, I'm thinking about running in the Adios Pro 2 for a half marathon that's coming up, but I'm nervous of lateral stability in the later stages if I get sloppy. Did you have similar concerns? Not with the Adios Pro 2. I think I'm fine with the Adios Pro 2. And the nice thing about the Adios Pro 2, though, as well, is if you think you're getting sloppy, if you focus on form a little bit, you get really nice feedback from the Light Strike Pro and the carbon plate or the carbon rods, or I guess they call them energy rods, whatever they're calling them in the Adios Pro 2. So there's like a nice positive feedback there that kind of reminds you to stay clean. So that's one of the reasons why I like the shoe, and I don't have concerns about lateral stability in that shoe because like the way that the stack height works, it all works well for me. So I mean, if there's like a hairpin turn, like Houston Marathon has like a hairpin turn in it for some reason. Well, I mean, just to get the distance right for the race. But like, it's odd that it's there. It's really weird. You come down the only big hill. You come down the hill, and immediately at the end of the hill, you have to turn right around. And that kind of thing will make me nervous in any marathon shoe. But other than that, I think that like the Adios Pro 2 will be fine. Emma says the Chicago 13.1 sounds cool. That's the date I have a half marathon built into my training plan. Maybe I'll do that before the Chicago marathon. Yeah. I mean, I think that's a fun one. I mean, June could go either way in Chicago, right? So it could either be beautiful weather, and it's like the kind of weather that you want to spend all day outside in, which may not be great racing weather, or it could be cold, unseasonably cold, or it could be unseasonably hot. I don't know. It's a grab bag. June, that's still kind of May, it's like the end of May, June. It's grab bag. I'm not sure. But like the rock and roll half marathon is usually like middle of July. It's usually like around Bastille Day. And like that, every time that race happens, I'm like, I don't know why they have that this time of year. It's always so miserably hot. Emma also says, I had a dream last night. I was escaping a shark attack. Too much shark contact for me today. Isn't that weird? It's like one of those things where like once you hear like a weird thing or notice a weird thing, it keeps popping up over and over. Yeah. Mark says, all right. He says, I'm not aware of the shark teeth situation. I'll Google it. Oh, that's so funny. That's funny. Adam says I'm going to need a bigger boat. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be on any boats. Mark says, according to Google, Venice, Florida is shark tooth capital of the world. Oh, I think that we're somewhat close to Venice. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Dad Runner says, I did the same thing for my daughter when she was little with arrowheads. 20 years later, she still thinks she found that. She doesn't know. You didn't tell her. It was 20 years ago. You should be like, no, I mean, I guess. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, Dad, you never told me. And you could be like, I was waiting for the right time. It never seemed like it was the right time. Oh, man. That's funny. Little arrowheads. Yeah. I mean, part of me feels like I really just hope that there's shark teeth there because I don't want to do that to them. Because here's the thing. Knowing my older daughter, if I sprinkle some shark teeth in the beach, she's going to spend the rest of the trip wanting to find more. And if I'm just like, I don't know, maybe I'll just have to convince her early on to like, I don't think there's any more. But that's funny. That's so funny. I am half Hydra says, hey Mike, which 2022 shoes are you most excited to run with? I mean, I'm really looking forward to the Endorphin Pro 3, Tecton X. I think those are like my two biggest things I'm excited, at least in terms of what I saw at TRE, right? But like overall, stuff that I didn't see at TRE, I'm excited about like stuff that's going to come out later in the year, right? Like I don't know what the Metaspeed Sky 2 looks like. I don't know if they're updating it. I think that they're updating it this year. I don't think it's just going to be color updates. So I want to know what that's going to be like. I want to try the Mach 5. I didn't see that one. Apparently Thomas got to see it while he's up there, but I didn't get to see it. I should have just asked. But yeah. So those are ones that I'm really excited about. Nova Blast 3, like all my favorites from last year. I want to see what happened to those. I want to see if they got better. But I think ultimately the shoes that I'm probably going to talk the most about in 2022 are the ones that are going to surprise me. Like I guess the Nova Blast 2 was a follow-up of the Nova Blast 1. So that was, that's like a hit followed by a hit. I think that's rare. But like the Mach 4 for me came out of nowhere. Right. And so like that one I just keep talking about because I'm like, it's so good. And the 3 was so not good, So like, I don't know what's going to be the big story, but I'm excited for those shoes. I'm also excited just because I've been liking the Prime X so much. That New Balance Super Comp trainer, the one that's their illegal shoe. I'm excited for that. I want to try all the illegal shoes. If it's got crazy stack height, if it's got multiple carbon fiber plates, if it's goofy, if it's gonna break an ankle, like give it to me. I want to try. I mean, that I think is gonna be like the thing that I'm just gonna be like strangely obsessed with this entire year. And I think I don't think everyone's gonna like them as much as I will, but I like them. I like them. Mark Jean says, any suggestions for running shoes with a wider toe box? I would say like the Carbon X2 or the Carbon X3. That's not gonna come out for a while, but the Carbon X2 I feel like is pretty generous. I also like the Hyperion Elite for being just wider everything, wider toe box, a wider platform in terms of the footprint. So it's a little bit more stable. Ultra makes a shoe. The Vanish previous years I haven't been that interested in, but this year it's not out yet. I don't know when it's going to be out. But like Callum Neff, who paced Akira D'Amato, and also Frank Lara, who ran his debut marathon at Houston, ran a 2:11, ran in the Vanish R from Ultra. That's going to be probably the widest toe box. It's a foot-shaped toe box. So that'd be one to keep an eye on for running. Oh, you said running shoes though. Oh, just regular running shoes? Yeah, Ultra, like the Escalante would be a good one. Because that's a foot-shaped toe box. That's going to give you just tons of space. Sorry, I thought your question was about super shoes. But yeah, just if you want the widest toe box, Ultra and Topo are going to be it for you. Stevie76 says, "What did the shark say when he ate a clownfish? This tastes a little funny." Yes, that's a good one. Martha says, if somewhere is the shark teeth capital, doesn't that mean it's the shark capital? I'll stay away. I don't think necessarily, Martha. I think it has to do with currents. Like, where do they lose their, I mean, I guess they're relatively nearby, but it's like, where do they lose their teeth? And then where does the ocean take them after that? I think that's more it. Because, like, as far as I know, I mean, my running buddy may have just been completely lying to me about it and be like, yeah, there's no sharks here ever. But he said that there aren't shark sightings there. They're all like really deep out in the Gulf. That's what he says. Chris Dyke says he wants all the New Balance shoes this year. Yeah, I mean, this year I feel like I don't know, like I haven't seen like a new beacon. I don't know if the beacon's going away. But I think that like the Rebel 3, the increasing the stack height, the Super Comp 3, the Racer. I'm very interested in trying that. Although I'm like, a mild update to the RC Elite 2 wouldn't have upset me, because that shoe I feel like was really good. I do miss like the super grippy, nubby outsole of the RC Elite 1, but I definitely like the stack height and the marathon runability of the RC Elite 2. But I think it's a pretty substantial change to get to the RC Elite or the SC Elite 3. Yeah. So I think New Balance is going to have a good year. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Martha, if it's illegal, I want to try it. Yeah, well, shoes. We're talking about shoes. Yeah. Michael Chang said there's for all the Canadians out there, there's a big discount on Next Percent. So go check that out. That's just amazing to me that they're actually selling those on sale. I never thought that I would see that. It's amazing. I remember when like the Next Percent came out, people were, and I made the reviews and people were like, oh, this looks great. I can't wait to get them on sale later at the end of the year. And I was like, don't hold your breath, guys. Adam says, I think the shoe trend for 22 will be super shoes for less than the marathon. Oh, for sure. Like half marathon racers, 5K, 10K is going to be the big push. And then like the people that have been making road mile shoes are making super shoes for that too. So like it's in kind of infecting everything. That's a bad word to use. it's trickling down to all the other distances. But I think the shoe trend for 2022 is going to be $160 daily trainer. Unfortunately, just letting you guys know. Yeah, and Time Man says, look like Solomon is going to have an interesting road lineup this year. I'm definitely intrigued. I want to try out the super shoe that Noah Dryden ran New York in. And like some of the other ones that they're basically like we're I feel like they're like this year we finally made shoes Americans are gonna like. I think that's basically how they're putting it. That, whenever they describe it, like we made for a different audience, we're making it to suit different tastes, more cushion. I'm like, you're made it for Americans and how Americans like to run. It's not like I've run in a couple of Solomon shoes. I feel similarly about all of them. The fit is a little bit different than the things that I normally like. The cushion feels very different than what I normally like. The upper feels different than what I normally like. It feels very much like a European shoe. That's fine. But it's just not what I like. This year they're like, okay, we appease the Americans. Here you go. So I'm like, okay, great. Send me some. That's what I want to try it. Some of the designs look pretty cool. So I think the designs have always been great. See, yeah, you know what I was thinking about today? So today I ran the On Cloud Stratus, and it's a good shoe. It's a decent shoe, but it's a little bit firm, especially for what's supposed to be like a max cushion shoe or a more cushioned shoe. It's got a double stack of Cloud, or do they call it Cloud Tech, TEC? I don't know, whatever they call it. There's a double stack of it. And I'm thinking like, I always try to think about when I evaluate an On shoe, I think of it like, okay, forget that it has gimmicky clouds on there. How does it feel? And where does it kind of rate? And I'm like, this feels like a Solomon. And I'm like, wait a minute. If you take an On shoe, strip out the clouds, you've got Solomon road running shoes. Beautiful design, well made, fits good. The toe box fits a little bit different than other shoes that are, I think, designed more for American market. And the cushion is always a little bit firmer than I think it should be. And I think that's it. They're like parallel companies, at least in the road space. I guess On makes trail shoes too. I haven't tried that one, but yeah. But I'm really looking forward to what Solomon's having, and they said that they're softening up some of their shoes anyway in the trail sector as well. And I'm like, okay, now we're talking. Because I just feel like when I ran in the Sense Ride 3, I think the 3 is the one I ran in. I just felt like I don't know what trail I could possibly need a shoe this stiff for. I don't know. I was having a hard time with it. It was okay, but I'm like, this is not the kinds of things that I like. But I'm optimistic for this year. People talked a lot about good things about the Ultra Glide. So I'm like, ooh, all right. Okay. I think I'm gonna like it now. Yeah, Andrew says, "Are you holding a hand warmer right now?" Yeah, I'm holding them right now. I have them in my pockets, so I have them during the day, and they're like 10 hours. They would last for 10 hours. So after I put them on my mittens, I usually just put them in my pockets, and they were making my pockets hot, so I took them out. So that's what I'm doing, and I fidget whenever I'm talking. If I'm sitting down, I'm fidgeting with something, so I'm fidgeting with the hand warmer right now. Sorry, guys. Andrew says, how cold do we keep the temperature inside? We don't have that much control over our unit. We have radiant heating throughout this building. So there's no control. The building sets it all. And basically the people on the lower floors always complain to the building that it's too cold. And then the people on the upper floors complain that it's too hot. We're somewhere in the middle. So we're like, that's pretty good. I just always have it. But my hands are always cold. I don't need hand warmers, but I'm fidgeting. Just finishing. JC said, saw the carbon plated Ultra vanish at the half on Saturday. Ooh, they had a rep there. It looks really nice. 35 millimeter stack height, $240 though. Yeah, they're gonna have two versions, a T and an R. One, I'm assuming training and racing, right? So, yeah, send them both. I want both. I want to try them out. Those will be interesting. I'm just like curious. I was like, okay, so Ultra is always 0 drop. What is the how does how is the plate positioned in that thing? Is the plate positioned at an angle or is the plate just flat? I mean, I'm sure the plate's not flat. That would make no sense. I don't know. So 35 millimeter stack height. That's a lot of stack height. And is it a different foam? I mean, it's not. They're not going to put like Eagle foam in there, right? So I wonder what it is. Mark says, I'm still waiting for the 1080s to go on sale. 1080s aren't on sale, like the version 11s? Huh. It's interesting. Martha says, I'm interested in the New Balance Pacer and would like to try it on against the Takumi Sen 8. You know, I think I'm going to buy the Takumi Sen 8. I don't know. I just don't think I need it. It's like, the shoe's great. I don't know. I think it's going to be a great shoe. But will I use it? I'm not going to race a lot of 5K, 10Ks. And I'd rather do my long workouts in my carbon plated marathon shoes, but I don't know. I'm not sure. How much does this Spanish shark eat? Maso minnows. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's funny. So funny. Yeah, Stevie 76 are the daily trainers hitting inflation too. I mean the prices have been set already. They were set before like the big everyone was talking about inflation. But yeah, I mean it seemed like every shoe that I was looking at TRE was like, what's this going to cost? About 150 or 160. Prices aren't set yet. I'm like, oh, that sounds like a lot. This is what earbuds do sharks prefer? Jaws bone? That's a good one. Did you make that one up yourself? That can't be like a dad joke because like what kid's gonna understand? I mean, Jawbone's like a really dated reference too, right? Does that company still exist anymore? I mean, that's a pretty specific joke. I like that one though. Dan Johnson says, I'm guessing if you have a lot of rocks on the trail, a stiffer shoe might be better. I think if there's a lot of instability in the terrain. So like I'm thinking about muddy, or if it's like lots of loose rock, then you want something really stiff underfoot. But yeah, I don't usually encounter a lot of that stuff, so that's why I don't really need it. Mark says, if you get the Takumi Sen 8, then the no streak fly, same space, right? I mean, those are the same. I think those would go head to head. I think that if I'm going to get the streak fly, then I need to get the Takumi Sen and vice versa to compare them, so I can be like, all right, here's like the state of the art if you're a 5K road racer. So, I mean, I think that's it's worth looking at. Probably. Yeah. I mean, I think that here's the thing. If the Takumi Sen came in the same color, if I could get the Tokyo colorway as the other Adidas shoes that I have right now, then I think I'd be like, I'll just get it. But now it comes in either the blue, which I do not like that blue, and then the black one, which I love the black, but none of the rest of my Adidas shoes right now are black. So I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? But maybe that means that this year, like Adidas designs are going to be a little bit more old school, like that black Takumi Sen 8. I mean, I think the Adios 6 comes in that black version. The Takumi Sen 8 comes in. What if there's like a black, just like a black and simple black with white stripes Adios Pro 3? There we go. That's a good one. That'd be good. JC says about that Ultra Vanish R, the super shoe, it's a new foam. He might have said a new type of Ego foam. Can't quite remember. Yeah, I'm super intrigued. I want that one. Steven, what's going on? Serious Runner says, who cares about cost? You can't put a price on epicness. Nice. Very, very nice. Awesome. How are you doing? back from Hawaii. Good to see you. Steven Garena says, what's the criteria for daily trainer? I'm going between Peg 38 and Zoom Fly 4. Would you consider the carbon plated Zoom 4 a daily? No, I wouldn't. I think that's more of like a workout shoe for me. I didn't run the Zoom Fly 4. I ran the Zoom Fly 3. But like I consider the Zoom Fly 4 kind of like a Carbon X3, where it's like you probably could run in that every day. The Carbon X3, I think I could. But I think it serves you better to save it for some of those workouts because it's more suited for that. And then when it comes to like easy days for your daily training, there's other shoes that could do it better. So that way you can kind of extend the life of that Zoom Fly 4, use it more specifically for the stuff that it's best at, and then use the daily trainer for the stuff that it's best at. I mean, if someone wants to buy one and only one shoe, I don't think that's going to be necessarily wrong to do that. Run in either a daily trainer every day or the Zoom Fly 4 necessarily every day. But like if you're going to get a couple of different shoes anyway, then like if you have the Peg 38 and Zoom Fly 4, I would do the Peg 38 most of the days, and then a couple of the days you're using the Zoom Fly 4. Andrew wants to know if I've used the Vibram 5 fingers. 10 plus years ago, I ran in Vibrams and loved them. Then I stopped running at all until 2019, and I haven't tried them again, thinking about it. I mean, do you think that like you stopped running? Did you stop running in 2019 because your feet hurt? I mean, is that what it is? Because that's what like that's a story I hear from a lot of people. Is that like, yeah, those Vibram 5 fingers were great. I kept getting fractured feet, but they were good. And I'm like, those two sentences don't go together. But I've never tried those. They always just kind of look. I was like, I don't know. This is kind of weird. I can't get over the toes. I mean, the closest I've gotten is I wear Injinji socks. So I do like the toe fingers for the socks. I've done that. I don't wear them in the winter though, because I feel like they make my feet colder. For the same reason that like I like mittens rather than gloves, But I like the Injinji, but the Vibram 5 fingers, I don't know if I could do. Andrew said there was a guy in the car ready to run 20 mile an hour last fall in a pair of Vibrams. I remember that. I remember that guy. I was like, whoa, dude, that's impressive. Because that whole course is on asphalt, So there's no part of that course that's on, I don't think, right? No, maybe there's some that's on the crushed gravel, but I think we're on pavement the whole time. So, yeah. Adam says Vibrams, not Vibrams. I thought it was Vibram. I thought it was Vibram. It's like his name or something like that. I'm not sure. I'll go with whatever you guys say. All right, Serious Runner says, back in Colorado where it's snowing, this Hawaii weather at the moment, did not see any sharks in there for what it's worth. So no shark's teeth. All right. You're just gonna have to go back, I guess, Steven, until you can find some. Well, I'm glad you made it back safe. Very cool. And Andrew clarifies, he stopped running because I hated running at the time, not because of the 5 fingers. Never had any injury issues with them. Do you think a lot of people get injured because they don't build up their feet with a gradual transition? Yeah, I think that's right. Adam's asking Serious Runner, does a Serious Runner run in the snow? I mean, you guys are. I mean, I just wonder if he's gonna have to. Do you have to repeat that video again, where he was like in his tracksmith singlet shoveling out a lane in the snow in the Colorado winter? I think is that I really hope that's not a video you have to make like every single year. Oh, that's so funny. I just remember that video. Awesome. Dad Runner Al says he likes the Exo skin much better. I was thinking about trying to pick up a pair of Zero shoes, like the minimalist shoes, because they were at TRE, and then they emailed me and they were like, "Hey, would you like to try any of our shoes?" And like I kept thinking that like, yeah, maybe I will, and then I just never got back to him because I'm thinking I don't know that I want to like do a transition to build up my foot strength. My feet always hurt already. And then so I was like, I don't know how to do that. But like I think for like walking around the neighborhood, maybe if they have like a quarter boot or like a just a casual shoe I can wear, maybe I'd try that. Yeah. And I don't know why, but that reminded me of oh, yeah, I was talking about, like, my feet always hurt. So I got an email from what I think was Bob and Brad. You know, they've sent me a couple of things over the past couple of years. Here's how it started. I did a video about a Bob and Brad massage gun, and they were like, "Hey, that's a great video about a Bob and Brad massage gun. Do you wanna do a video about another Bob and Brad massage gun?" I was like, "Okay, we'll do that." And then, like, since then, like, every time they have a new product, and they have a lot of new products, I get an email like, "Do you wanna review this?" I'm like, "No, I think doing 3 Bob and Brad massage gun reviews is plenty." They're like, "Okay, let us know if you want us to send you anything." And then I got an email from someone else who said that like, "Hey, I work with Bob and Brad," but the person had like a gmail.com address, and I was like, "This doesn't seem right." And I was like, "Yo, how come every time I emailed him back and I was like, "How come every time I've done stuff with Bob and Brad, it's with someone that has a bobandbrad.com email address and yours is gmail.com?" And he's like, "Oh, they hired me part-time." And I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, but like I was gonna ask him like I do kind of want to look at Bob and Brad. It's hard to do a search on Bob and Brad stuff because they have so much stuff. It's like how do I sort through all this? But I'm like, there's got to be something. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted. There's a guy walking down the street outside I could see, walking real slow in the winter snow, and he's getting like attacked by pigeons. They're like flocking around him, and he's just chill, walking straight ahead. Doesn't even mind. This is weird. Anyway, so like my feet are always kind of like hurting. I just feel like they're taking a pounding from all the road miles. I was like, there's got to be some sort of weird massage device that they have. But I'm like, I don't want to interact with this at gmail.com email address guy. But I just need to know if there's anything for feet. I know like Matt Chittum's been doing like a review for like I don't know what it is, but it's some sort of foot massager thing, and I can only envision it's one of those things that they had in the 80s where you like a little bathtub for your feet and you put your feet in there while you're like watching TV. I imagine it's probably something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe I just need to get that. I'll ask Matt about it. See if it works. I don't know. But my feet are always hurt. So they're not hurt, but they're never very comfortable. All right, we got some more information on the Zero shoe. Philip says the Zero shoes are great minimal shoes that I wear around the office and around town, etc. I hiked in their trail version for a few years, backpacking too, and really enjoyed them. But then I hit a rock wrong and got metatarsalgia last year and something with a rock plate and got something with a rock plate. I would not run in the Zero offerings, but you know I'm a glide ride guy. Okay, so you like a thicker stack height too? I like the thicker stack height. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll run him either, but I see him all the time. I think the knees over toes guy really likes him too. That's the other thing. I think that's where I've been seeing him a lot lately. Yeah, Mark about the pigeon guy. It sounds like a Home Alone 2 flashback. Yeah, it was kind of just like that. They were just swirling around this guy for like a moment, and he was just chill. Chris Tech says seagulls were trying to tag me on my jog yesterday. Kept me on alert. You know what's been freaking me out? Birds always freak me out a little bit. But yesterday on my run, these 2 crows, and I feel like it was the same 2 crows, were like tracking me on my run. And I feel like over the course of like 3 miles, periodically, they would swoop down, cut in front, sit in the snow, and just stare at me as I ran by. And then I would run by, and then I would see another pair of 2 birds swooping down in front of me, cutting in front, perching right on the snow right on the side of the path, and then just watch as I went by. Super creepy, right? I'm like, do they know something I don't know? Am I about to die? And they're like waiting for me to keel over so they could poke my eyes out. Like I don't know what's happening here. I'm like, I am pretty cold and tired, but do I look that rough? I couldn't tell. I really couldn't tell. And I just feel like maybe it was a coincidence, but I also feel like, crows are really smart and also mean birds. So I just feel like there's something up. And then I was like, well, maybe it's my hat. Maybe they think that my hat is like something that they want to chase from. Like if they're flying up ahead and they're like, see the hat and then they swoop down, they're like, oh no, never mind. And then they're just like, never mind. And they're just trying to scope out the hat. I don't know. I have no idea. They freaked me out. Dad running around says, anyone tried the knees over toes guy method? I think Sage just made, not just, but I think Sage made a video about that a while back. I don't know. I think he looked at the program and was like, some of it actually kind of makes sense. I think you should check that out. Try to find, Sage found it. Sage took a look at it. I mean, I've looked at it too, and I'm like, this stuff kind of makes sense. I was looking at that stuff more like when my knee was bothering me. I guess it was like a year and a half ago. Then I was looking at some of that stuff, and I was like, okay. And he's talking a lot about like the tendons and tendon strength. I was like, some of this stuff seems to make sense. I'm no physical therapist, but maybe. Backland says, I've been attacked by owls on 2 occasions while running. Owls, that's a weird one. Were you running at night? That's strange. My running buddy and I saw a giant falcon, or maybe a small hawk. I'm not sure which way it goes. But it was a giant bird while we were on our run on Saturday. It's pretty impressive. I don't think I've ever seen like a falcon. I see hawks all the time in Iowa, but I don't see them much here in Chicago. That's pretty crazy. I get attacked all the time by those like red-winged blackbirds. They're so mean. They're so territorial. They're organized. And they just like will peck me in the back of the head. I can't stand those things. I really do. I mean, yeah. I just feel really silly when I'm like, stupid birds, and I'm like waving my selfie stick at them, and I'm like, get away. Like I just really hope that at some point, like someone is driving by and just like, look at this guy, and just like starts recording it. I just think because it'd be really ridiculous, but yeah, those birds are so mean. Owl attack though, that's a whole different level. JC said, crows are evil and aggressive. They're said to recognize and remember human faces. Yeah. My sister, I think this, I don't know, I have a feeling this was like all the rage in Connecticut where she lives, but during the pandemic, my sister rented chickens. So like, I don't think the entire business model is renting chickens, but it's a company that will like, you sign up, they'll come to your house, they'll put in a chicken coop, they'll give you some chickens and they lay eggs and you get to have eggs from your chickens, which I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes when it comes to like eating food, I don't, like farm to table is great, but like I need like a degree of separation from like the chicken's butt and like my plate. I don't know. Maybe that's me. But she had the chickens and she said that like the chickens definitely like, knew who was who, like they said that like, they always got excited when my brother-in-law, her husband, would come out anytime they saw him because he's the one that always did the feeding. And so they would just get super excited and remember him. So although I suppose maybe they don't even see the face. Maybe they just know like the body shape or the walk, or they can remember that. I don't know. But then after a while, I think they just got tired of the chickens and they were like, can you come take them back? And they take the chicken coop and they take the chickens back. I never saw the chickens myself, not in person. I think that the period of time where she had the chickens was during the time where I wasn't traveling. Daniel says, a bald eagle once followed me kayaking down the river for about 10 minutes. That would also be scary because like a bald eagle can come after you. You know what I mean? Like it's got a 6-foot wingspan. I'm not sure there's a lot you can do to defend yourself, even if you've got like the oar from your kayak. I mean, are you even allowed to I feel like you'd be breaking a federal law if you were like tried to swat it, even if it was clawing your eyes out with its giant like hand-sized talons, That's bizarre. I mean, I see a lot of bald eagles in Iowa when I'm running. They're pretty impressive. But sometimes they're like kind of gross too. Sometimes they will go after some of the roadkill out there, and I'm like, have some dignity. You're the symbol of this country, for goodness sake. And they're like, sorry, I was just eating this roadkill possum. And I'm like, what? Frank says vultures always follow him. That's weird. See, sometimes I'm like, maybe I'm confusing eagles with turkey vultures because these things are always eating roadkill. But I'm like, no, that one was a bald eagle. It had the white head, giant wingspan. I don't know. All right, I'm about to lose my camera here. All right. I think I have to call it for today. I think that's a good time to end it for today, guys. We're devolving into like crazy bird stories at the end of the podcast here. Thanks for hanging with me though, and giving me the benefit of the doubt. Tomorrow we'll have another video. I think tomorrow I'm going to talk about the race vest that I got from Ultimate Direction. I took that on a couple of different runs, so I think that's what tomorrow's video is going to be about. I think Ultra Trail Steven just did a video. Someone I just saw someone else did a video about it today too. So I'll post a link to that as well. But that'll be my video for tomorrow, and then we'll do another live stream. Same time as today, 1 p.m. Central Time. Hopefully see you then. In the meantime, stay warm and be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.